texture, this is motion. Some minds move fast like sparks in the dark. Some minds read the room like ocean. If you ever felt out of place, tonight we build you a place. No labels on your spirit, just truth in your face. Hold up, hear that rhythm shift? That is a different kind of gift. If you listen, you'll catch it. If you rush, you'll miss. Welcome to the brilliance, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future when we do not close the door. Different is divine here, say it like the truth. This is you, be you. This is you, be you. Yeah, if you carry your craft, not a burden. It is love with a pulse and a plan. Sometimes you see it early, sometimes it shows when it can. Either way, support is a key. It unlocks new ways to speak. And the smallest wins turn massive when the room is safe to be. No fixing, no forcing, just presence with pride. The whole world changes when we widen the side from one right way. Too many ways through, that is how we grow, that is what we do. Welcome to the brilliance, feel it in the flow. Welcome to the future when we do not close the door. Different is divine here, say it like the truth. This is you, we yeah. Quiet, hit a footstep, hit a snap, hit a mind, run a different lap. Adding genius, focus, pure, honesty, strong, heart secure. Do not talk over what you do not know. Make space, let the person show. Living clean, let love stay true. Say it with me, you be you. Welcome to the brilliance, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future when we do not close the door. Different is divine here, say it like the truth. This is you, yeah. This is you, be you. 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 You, be you. Come closer, come closer, come closer. You, 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 this is you, be you. Welcome to you, be you. Brilliance of the mind, brilliance of the mind. Feel it in the floor, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future, welcome to the future. When we do not close the door, when we do not close the door. Different is divine, different is divine. Sing it like the truth, sing it like the truth. You be you, you be you, you be you, you be you. Welcome to the brilliance, welcome to the brilliance. Snap, 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 snap. Move, breathe, move, breathe. Move, breathe, move, breathe. Hey, say you, crowd says you. Say B, say B, crowd says B. Say you, crowd says you. Make room, let the whole world move. Different is the vibe, let it shine right through. If you listen, you learn. If you rush, you lose. We do not close doors, we improve the rules. Step, 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 feel that floor talk. Mind it up, watch that brilliance wall. No shame here, no fear here, no box for you. Whole room rising when you show up true. Say you, crowd says you. Crowd says you. Say B, crowd says B. Crowd says B. Say the brilliance, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future when we do not close the door. Different is divine, say it like the truth. This is you, be you. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Brilliance of the mind. Brilliance of the mind. You be you. You be you. You be you. You be you. This is you. just who you.
Hey everybody, my name is William Rochelle. You can call me Bill, and this is UBU Live. And one of the things I want to remind everyone is that I have two artists, Big Willie and Brixley. And last week, Brixley opened our show. I feel like I'm talking into an echo. Last week, Brixley opened the show, and this week, Big Willie opened it. And I wanted something that was different. I want every time the show opens that you don't feel as if you're getting the same sound. You're getting a new, fresh sound, unique, and catered to the audience that I am delivering to. Today's show was inspired by Phoebe Mack, and she is a mother, a doctor, and a supporter of the community. And she has a child that is living with autism, and she said, I want to bring this to the community. I want people to understand the uniqueness and the beauty in my son. And so we created a show about it. So bringing up right now, I'm going to bring up Phoebe Mack and Joel. You guys ready? Here we go. Hey, Phoebe.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me on UBU. I love that song. I was singing it.
Were you?
UBU. Hey.
So Joel told me before the show, next time come to him for the music. What did you think?
Joel, you got to admit that song was hot. I know you was vibing.
It sounded like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great comparison.
I'll take it.
We got to tell everybody where Joel is from.
Joel is from London. Oh, sorry. Joel, where are you from?
Well, you just say I am from London, yes.
Okay. And how are things in London right now?
Wet.
Okay.
And yeah.
So, Phoebe, let's start with you.
Okay, let's start.
So you were on Brother Talk, and after that, you and I decided that this would be a topic that we would take on. We did that in either late November, early December, and I said, let's wait until January.
Right.
Yeah.
You invited me on the show. We talked about people living. I say living, not like you have something, not like it's something that's I don't like a disease or something like that. You live with autism is what I say, especially for my son. He's a wonderful kid. And so I'm always spreading awareness. And I think that a lot of people still in the world, everywhere, even where Joel lives, are not aware about the autism and its broad spectrum, right? So I'm here as a mother, parent, and advocate for people living with autism.
And what do you find? First, when was your son diagnosed? How did you notice? How was it detected?
Okay,
let's start there.
Okay, so my mother-in-law and my sister who's a family nurse practitioner, hey sis, I love you. She noticed some signs, and my mother-in-law also did. And so as an educator, I had to even step out. My mom had because, as parents, we do, nothing's wrong with our kid, right? But I had to not be in denial. And I went and had my son evaluated, observed. And that's how it ended up finding out that my son was on the spectrum living with autism. And it was early intervention, like late age 2, 3. And so as soon as I started learning, okay, I'm a teacher, I got to make sure I get him right on this end. And then as a parent, so I wear many hats for my son. And early intervention is very important, very, very important, because the spectrum is really broad. And the earliest you begin to get educated about what's going on, get medical background about what's going on, activities, supports for your child and yourself as a mom, for those living with autism. So that's how I learned about it. And now, I mean, as an educator, I knew some things. I had a couple of students with it, but in the beginning stage, I've taught all ages, from elementary, high school, adults, superintendents in my field of education. And like in the beginning of my career as an educator, I've had a couple of students with that. And then it made me think back to when I was younger. So, we weren't really getting the knowledge or learning much about it until now. And then even today, like, they have all of these things that's happening where they're saying there's components to why this is happening to our youth.
There's what?
Components and different factors like air, food, Tylenol, things that companies, big companies know, big pharma and everything, that they have been doing to certain things that we put into our body that is causing this and like mass, like it's massive now that people are being born and being diagnosed on the spectrum.
So I'm going to challenge you there.
Go ahead.
Is it massive because of the big pharma, or is it massive because we're aware of it now and we know what to diagnose? So
well, I would say from my experience and my observation, it's massive because now when you think about it, and I'm just going to say in the US, I don't know what's happening in London.
Mm-hmm.
And you can attest to this, Bill. Foods and everything began to change for quantity instead of quality.
Yeah.
One case with the baby food, I read the case is open. Anybody can go look at it. Is those certain companies knew that they had toxins and metals in foods that shouldn't be in it, that they were putting into grocery stores and into our communities. And when you think about it, things like that, even vaccinations, like it's to me, there's different factors that can cause this. And then possibly, just think about it, babies, you're putting different things in a baby whose brains is just new, brand new. And we're doing things to children and giving them things, and we don't even know they do things to adults. So what you think they'll do to a child? For example, for me, I cannot take the flu shot because every time I take the flu shot, I'm sick, whereas other people does it. So our systems are even different, right? So not speaking medically, but those are just my observations and experience and research that I've done. Joel, what do you have to say about that?
I've lost 1 second. There we go. I found it again. I've got too many tabs open. So, whilst I agree that various products have got stuff in them, none of which cause or had the capability to cause neurodevelopmental disorders.
This is why I want to talk to someone who lives with autism as an adult so that they can explain to us.
None.
Okay. So talk about it. When did you realize as a young adult, because I've been teaching my son since he's been young. When did you know and understand what you were dealing with?
When I was 9.
Okay.
And I hate the word diagnosed, but I had it.
So you live with like me?
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to go into the areas that are opinion, and let's stick to the areas that are fact, which is how you're raising your son, and then what does that mean? What does the spectrum mean?
Well, I wouldn't say opinion when they have scientific things behind it here and cases that says it.
I'm not just
I'm just giving you what facts that I've read and learned.
I'm not disputing that at all, and please don't take it that way. I just don't know the facts. So, you're saying one thing and then Joel saying something different. And so let's talk about the brilliance of the mind and what it means to, as an educator. How do you, what did you notice differently, that you do, or not differently, that you don't have to do for a child living with autism? And then let's also speak about the bearing on the spectrum and what that means.
So, in my understanding of, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. My son would, at age 2, 3, 4, when I was learning that Joel lived, right? See, and that's the thing, live with autism, because he don't like diagnosed. And that's why I think I say live. He would just stare at something, or the television, or something he was fixated on, and I would be calling his name, or my sister or his nana would be calling his name, and he wouldn't turn around. And I'm like, I'm loud with dictation and everything, and I'm like, what's going on? That was maybe a key observation for me. I don't know about Joel's experience and his mom's experience with that in the beginning. And then he would line things up, and he knows everything about an animal. He started reading at age 2, like 8th grade words. And I'm like, what? We would drive somewhere age 3, and he would tell me, you need to turn here, you need to turn there, like direction, right? Like, so the knowledge, I will be like, there's this kid, how does he know where I'm going? Like, so those things were, like you say, the brilliance of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And my son,
that's why I had the opening the way that I did, was that if you notice, the person had a superpower, and he was making things move at the end, basically with his mind. So that's kind of an homage to the fact that the people that are on the spectrum are actually brilliant in certain ways. And I will defer to Joel. Is it higher that you go on the spectrum, the more brilliant you are, or how does that work?
Well, as you've mentioned, Bill, the spectrum is a, pardon me, Bailey, shush, is a it's huge, and there is a reason why it's huge. No one on the spectrum, like no human being, is the same. So Phoebe's son is said at TB when he was 2, and could read when he was 2. I, on the other hand, could speak through playing music from the age of 2, and the speech delay came a lot later at the age of 4. But also there was a slight if I can say, yeah. I know we shouldn't, I know you want to state your opinion, but there was a slight thing that I picked up on, that maybe because I am on the spectrum, I picked up on it. And one of the things that you said, Phoebe, appeared to contradict your earlier statement of that it was that the stuff that we find in products can cause, or a factor to cause, autism, and that was your son knowing stuff of the advanced of more advanced ages than most, even of that age, and most adults. Now, to me, that says that it's not caused by external. It's genetic, it's developmental. So
Understood. Thanks for teaching me that.
Absolutely. And that's a part of the conversation. You know,
yeah,
the reason why the show is called You Be You is that Phoebe can have an opinion and Joel can have an opinion, and we can kind of bridge that gap. And it's not to change Phoebe's mind because she's done her research. But it's to help her understand your view as well. So that's why I kind of wanted to, because I haven't done the research, Phoebe, I wanted to kind of stick to the things that I do know. Because there have been a lot of studies that say vaccines cause it, and then others that say that they don't. And I'm not living with it like you. So I'm learning while you guys are learning. But what I really want to, go ahead.
You finished what you really want to.
What I really want people to take away is not the controversy of the cause, but the magnificence of the person.
Hey.
And yeah, because I think
we'll be here all day talking about my son being the magnificent. I don't know about Joel. Joel, you know, he ready to play music. Joel, he ready to play music. He want to take over your song. You're gonna make Bill a new song, right?
No, he's not. I like my song, Joel. But the truth is, if we go into a different direction, then people lose the message. And the message is that your son has all of these powers, all of this magnificence, and we don't want to put him in a box.
No.
And we want people to understand who they are, who we are, and what can be achieved. Joel, you're a speaker globally.
Well, I only just started that last year, but yes, that's
well, that's good. So how did you get into that?
Well, that was an interesting one. It started off online, like with Mac Bill actually, and it's so I sort of transitioned from online to speaking at Toro in the space of 2 years, and when I got the message in my inbox from one of the Toro professors saying, "Can you come and speak on neurodiversity?" Well, I'm hopefully all being well with my dog going back again this year, but
you're gonna bring the dog with you?
No, I'm not. No, airline is no. He's currently suffering from a leg injury, so but anyway, people, what I've learned about starting my own company is if you're going to people want to shut other people out. It's natural. Trying to get in the job and an autistic person, trying to be in a school as an autistic person, it's not going to work. And what I think the world either knows and wants to turn away from or deny, and what we are trying to say loud and clear in whatever way we are communicating best on the spectrum, is that without anyone who is extraordinary, the internet wouldn't be existing, phones wouldn't exist, cars wouldn't exist, even lights wouldn't exist. I mean, Einstein, nothing would exist. So if you're shutting that out, the world, then stop using our shit.
Absolutely. Well said, Joel.
When I thought about when he was saying it, I thought about the movie A Beautiful Mind, because and I mean, I saw someone on the thread say maybe we're all on this spectrum of some, just different than others, and some on the
I
edge.
believe that.
Someone I read that in the comments. So you were asking a question, and I would like to hear Joel tell us, like you said, this because it's broad, right? And my understanding is you can be on this side of the spectrum. I don't want to say high or low. This side of the spectrum where you're nonverbal, but you could still communicate in a way where you can possibly do sign language or write or this or that. Or down here, you may not be able to do anything but use maybe a piece of technology to help you, or maybe you just physically take your mom to the refrigerator like that. And then you could be here where, like Beautiful Mind or my son, I think that was Leslie Flowers who said that, what I was talking about, where you can speak, you can drive, and maybe you just have some social issues when you're out in society. So those are the things that we try to, for me, advocate. But I will tell you this, as a mother, when I'm out and about with my son, or even when I'm not, I notice who lives with autism because of my son. And I'll go to the mom and I'll say, I can see them sometimes it's a little bit frustrating, and I'll say it's okay, and I can automatically connect with their child, and it makes their day, because the world doesn't know that, right? And I live in kind of my city. I love my city, but it's a little rough around the edges. You never know. People could have a bad day, and then someone with autism come, and then they just do something to them. So I try to teach my sons those safety cues, right?
What do you mean do something to him?
Like, some people don't know, they're not aware. So my son stems, or other people stem, and they might shock them or walk up to them, because the social cues are not quite there for certain people who live with autism. So they don't understand. They may not even understand if somebody's bullying them. They're just like, what?
What does stems mean?
So stemming was what we call is somewhere where a person that lives with autism, they self-regulate themselves. So it could be flapping, tapping. I mean, we all got that, biting nails, and it's something to regulate them where they may be overstimulated or understimulated. Joel, am I explaining that properly as far as you living with it? So I just want you to explain to me as a mom so that I can use strategies if I need to, right?
Well, for me, I never really needed anything stimming, because music became the outlet where I would go to. And I don't know whether anyone in the audience has tried this, but playing the drums is a fantastic way of getting frustration out.
I bet you it is.
Designed to be hit. And as an autistic person, that's great. Okay,
excellent.
It's an expensive punch bag, but it's great. I mean, I'll give an example. My cousin, completely brilliant, non-verbal, can't speak, has numerous stuff wrong with him, and he's disabled as well as autistic, and yet he's a drummer of a rock band.
Wow. It's nice.
Excellent. I'm going to bring up Gregory. Gregory, you ready? Shake your head, yes. We're not going to talk about the Super Bowl. Hey, Gregory. What were you thinking backstage? So, Gregory, this is Phoebe. Phoebe, this is Gregory Liverpool. And Greg and Joel, you guys know each other, right?
All right.
So what were you thinking while backstage, Gregory, listening to the conversation?
Well, in the words of Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? Had to get that in there. Royal Rumble hangover and stuff. The comment in the chat is basically popping right now. Yay! I'll say hello to everybody who's on this Zoom, on this LinkedIn Live audio event. Charles Phillips, Kinga, Leslie Flowers, uh, uh, and Jackie from Just Jackson Guest on Monday nights, and everybody and everybody and stuff. The comment that Charles basically put in the comments, and I'll quote: "Many adults are sure we are autistic or ADHD, but we are well past 18, but still undiagnosed." That is uberly fact, because my story is not linear per se. I was diagnosed at the age probably around the age of 25 to 26 years old. Yes, that late. And the person who said that it could be diagnosed as far as birth, and at that time in the 1980s and 1990s, there was no, I will say, definite on the ground testing in regards to testing people who are on the autism diagnosis spectrum. So which means the best thing for people who were like me, you put them on a corrective action plan, which are very, very, I will say, not looking back at it, it's not the best thing for people like me to be on and stuff, because you're basically, I will say, putting negative aspects or behaviors on the corresponding diagnosis per se.
So let me ask you a question,
sure.
Gregory. I'm sorry, because when you say it corrective, right there as a parent, I'm like, wait a minute, what you mean correct my baby? Like, he is who he is, right? So
correctamundo.
Here in the United States, in Chicago public schools, or the school system here, we say IEP, which is an individualized education plan.
Yeah.
That is so that you can get your individual needs. That corrective part, I just was like, what do you mean? What are you correcting? Because he is who he
correctamundo.
is. Right. He's brilliant in these ways. These things he don't like, and it's okay. But aren't we all like that, right? So please, I don't know if that's what's happening where you're from in Canada.
Yeah.
They need to change that.
I totally understand it, and that's why I will say that
I'm gonna step back and let you guys talk for a second, because I think this is gonna get good.
Okay.
Yeah,
you guys good with that?
Because it was basically in regards to how it was diagnosed. But the thing is, since it is basically more in vogue, and we have basically famous people who are on the spectrum, such as Anthony Hopkins, Greta Thunberg, Temple Grandin, the biggest one, I will say, kind of like the biggest one of them all, in regards to that nature, Dan Aykroyd, those type of people, even I will say Bill Gates, who is the founder of Microsoft per se, are people, well-established people who are on the spectrum of that nature. But the thing is, the stigma is kind of in that stigmatization type of situation, especially in regards to what I bring to the table in terms of this discussion, in HR and employment per se.
So that's like what we call DEI or EDI here in the United States. And
correctamundo.
And you talked about a lot of famous people. I know like some who have children who live with autism, like Tony Braxton, and I want to say our president right now, his child as well. And it was rumors as far as even Beyonce. And I'm like, this is why awareness for you lovely people and us, everybody who has their individual community, need to be aware. So when people are in the world, we can know how to help each other. That was my main thing, because I want my son to go and be his best self in this world with no. Hey, in my utopia, no one would do anything to him, but it's just I protect him. I'm mama bear for him, right? But I'm not going to be able to be everywhere with him. Like, look at you guys, you're You're awesome. You're out here running your own businesses and on podcasts and spreading the word. So thank you for advocating for you and people like my son. Well,
Yeah, because the thing is, I will and the best type of point of reference for people to understand not only the autism spectrum but the whole neurodiversity of it. And I don't know if I'll get any type of trouble here with the hosts here in terms of putting books here, but everybody in the HR field, and if you are a manager or a supervisor, you need to read the book The Canary Code.
okay.
That book should be basically mandatory reading for anybody who is an.
Can you explain what the Canary Code is?
The Canary Code is basically a book written by Dr. Luelda, who it is basically a guide or a reference point for all things on the autism autism spectrum, as well as neurodiversity overall. People, I will say, in regards to this book, this book is such a popular book. I will say group people formulate. I just came from a book study during just past winter and late that started around late fall, in regards to the study of the Canary Code in regards to this nature. And it's basically a wealth of information knowledge in terms of employment.
All right.
Employment, how to keep a person who is neurodiverse, the trials and tribulations and pitfalls of people who have struggled on neurodiverse. The chapters of reference I will say that people need to read, if I could recall off the top of my head, will be 4, 5, maybe 6, and maybe 8, 9-ish. And there's a chapter, especially on the last number I just said, in regards to how people who are neurodiverse, who gets basically bullied, chastised within the workplace environment that we still have. And that's one of the things that needs to be championed and basically, I will say, flushed out in regards to in an HR type of realm, because we are going to be the reason I'm saying this, and I will say this stat very, very abruptly: 53% of Gen Zers are either are neurodiverse, which is on in the autism spectrum, or showing tendencies of being neurodiverse.
Okay.
So if you are not engaging with this with that corresponding workforce and people and helping people of that nature, we're going to have the biggest talent negative talent acquisition tendencies in modern hiry.
So let me ask you a question.
And that's why I will say the corrective. I'll not say the corrective. The being on the right side of history needs to happen, and needs to happen right now.
Okay, so Gregory, as far as how did you get into? I see your hashtag is put the H back in HR. How did you get into advocating for people living on the spectrum of autism to HR? Because that's important, because you all can do work and create and be innovative just like everybody else.
Yeah, because I put that hashtag on my LinkedIn profile a year and change ago, because the reason of that nature is HR is starting to become very automative. Basically, we're putting square pegs into round holes, and we are basically trying to force the issue and force everything like the horse secretariat, we're only thinking this way, but we should be thinking on a wider spectrum of the human being, of that type of situation here.
So
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Let me.
Yeah.
I saw something really great that was popped up. I wanted to read that comment. Can you please pull it up, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I could read it. It's researching mapping autism services found that Black and Hispanic autism children lives in areas significant fewer autism resources, diagnosis centers, therapies, treatment facilities, while white children, especially microplant in urban regions. And there is a URL link for the quoting of the source that Peter M just put down. Thank you, Peter, for sharing that.
We really appreciate you, Peter, and all of our listeners. Let me take a moment just to say thank you, and thank you to Bill on our platform, because I know, Gregory, we can go on and on. And Joel, what do you feel about, what advice can you give a teacher, a mother, and by the way, in US, I don't know if this worldwide, Autism Month is in April. So just give us something. I would like to ask Joel this, because you've been pretty quiet. You're a great listener, by the way. Founder and CEO of Rockstar X. Can you please give us a piece of advice that you would spread to someone like me as a mother, a parent, a friend, a world, so we can make something aware that we can use as a strategy? And I did see someone put, you guys, we love you guys. Everybody needs your hearts. So genuine. And my son, I wish I could clone him, and that'll change the whole world. Let me tell you. So go ahead, Joel.
Well, I was going to end with that, but I think I'll start with it. Yes, Autism Awareness Month is coming up, I believe March or April. But at what point, I want to ask this at large, and someone could probably answer it if it's not me. At what point can we take? It's all very well being aware of something. Now, I feel we should be in a place where now we should be changing that to either acceptance or action. I mean, you can be aware of things.
I wouldn't even just say acceptance. You guys live with us. Everyone should be loving on each other, right? Yeah. Because acceptance is like, oh, I just accept you. I put up with you, right? When you kind of say that, but I say that to say, because let me give you an experience. When I'm in the grocery store, and I think I just told you something, like for when I can notice, and I'll go and give their parents some love so that they can kind of woosah, because they got a little bit of understanding from humanity, right? So my son, sometimes we'll go in the store, and if he's overstimulated, he'll stim. And you'll see people who, it's like they're just going about their day, but it could either be they're startled, they're staring, they're trying to figure out, or they basically do not know. I'm not going to say ignorant, I'm saying do not know, because a lot of people still don't. So guess what I would do? I would take it upon myself, and I say this is each one, teach one, reach one, okay? I want you guys to understand that each one, teach one, reach one. And I would say, hey, my son lives with autism, and sometimes he's STEM. And what STEM do, like I would give them knowledge. So now when they go and they see another child or adult do that, they can say, I know that person lives with autism. Right now they're STEMing. And they can tell whoever's with them, because a lot of the kids don't know. So this should also be a curriculum. Like there should be curriculum built in to the education systems worldwide that talks about this. So people like you can stand up for yourself, know the rules, the policies, or whatever's going on in your counties, state, things like that, policies and laws. So that's why I'm like awareness. Bill?
The more that we start talking to each other, period.
Yes.
The more that we learn about each other, and the more we can become accepting. See, most fear comes from the fear of unknown. Most prejudices come from preconceived notions. And all of us think what our version of normal is, right? And that's our version because we're living it through our lens. These types of conversations, which are life-changing to me, because when Gregory was speaking and Phoebe jumped in and was just like, but no, bro, this is what I'm saying. That was a natural conversation. There was no, I'm going to shift how I say something. It was just a human talking to a human.
Exactly.
And I believe that there's this misconception out there that you must walk on eggshells. You must. I would have been gentler, Phoebe.
No, I get what I get what you're saying, Bill.
I would have been gentler, but when you stepped in, that's when I stepped out, because
I'm also thinking as parent and Gregory and Joel, they got their own opinion too. They can hold their own, as we can see. Joel said, "Hold up," early in the beginning. So that's what I'm saying. It's about respect and love and humanity here, right? And
this is a prime example, because my community here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which we are basically NHL Central Division rivals with your hockey club, Phoebe, with the Chicago Blackhawks. We have a person in our community. His name in the community is called Dancing Gabe, because he's always dancing at sporting events, du jour and stuff.
So is he on the spectrum, may I ask?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And the thing is, everybody thinks that a person like Dancing Gabe is the quote unquote typical situation of a person who's on the autism spectrum. But the thing is, I'm on the autism spectrum myself, and we are basically two different people, two different ends of the spectrum per se, and everybody is always asking my opinion in regards to how is Dancing Gabe is different from you. And I always try to say, I do not know how.
What do you mean? Just like you and I are different, right? Just what do you mean?
So I try to say it in the best I could possibly can, but they always try to press me for a lot of stuff. But the thing is, they always think that when they see a person who's on the spectrum, they think that it is the same type of person in every single person who is on the autism spectrum. And that's what I try to try to voice my opinion on that, to saying it is not. And the way that you could check to see if you're on the right path, I'll basically do a sports term: check with the quarterback. The quarterback is me.
I like that. Check with the quarterback. Okay, I'm gonna have to start using that. Check with the quarterback, because all of us play a different role. Yeah. Everybody play their role in their own lives and how they were brought up and where they're from and everything. Yeah. First, I want to just say thank you guys for coming on today. I know Bill called me on here to co-host with him, but I'm coming on here to learn as well, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
Learn as well on UBU Live. So, Gregory, I want you to give, besides what you just did, a strategy that you will, someone like me, a mom, or because I just asked Joel the same question. What kind of advice would you give a person that has no knowledge at all?
Read as much as you can. Be in supportive groups that are going through the same type of stuff that you're going through, such as your local autism works or autism
Organization.
or organizations that you have in Chicago? Because I know that there's a lot, because they do a lot of autism awareness type of theme events at either Blackhawk, Bulls, White Sox, Cubs, Bears, or even the Chicago Wolves of your AHL team, in terms of nights of that nature, as well as when your son or daughter is working age, I will say better make sure that you dip into what the Americans for Disabilities Act entails, as well as the I think it's the EEOC.
Yeah,
In the United States and stuff, dip into that, because that is going to be your Bible in regards to employment matters that come up for your child in an employment type of world. And I will say this, that the Americans for Disability Act, I will say that is basically, I will say, the gold standard in all in disability accommodation legislation within the world. I am envious that you have an act of that nature. In your legislation thing. So
Joel, I want you to answer lastly. Will you please do so? Can you pull up that comment?
Yes, Leslie, you're looking at one. Or it's better known as atypical, which is, if you're looking at the old classification of that, it would be number 5.
What does that mean, number 5?
It'll be the 5th one on the old classifications of the different types of autism. So the one that has is the most common one, ironically. It's called atypical autism. People know it as atypical autism. Its medical term, though, is a tongue twister. Pervasive development disorder not otherwise specified. I know that because I've got it.
Okay,
that's what I have.
And
what
talk about Asperger's too. See, I'm still learning.
Asperger's now labeled high functioning.
Right. And that's, what do they mean by high functioning? You guys explain that.
You don't need to rename the entire classification.
Right, like
to be more stupid.
It's safe to say that Joel gets offended and frustrated with you guys out there acting like you don't know we're part of the world now, right?
It's the people, ironically, that haven't got a clue.
Please have a clue. So right now, I'm just telling you guys out there who's on past the word, you better have a clue. They need to. I'm on your side. I'm on your side with this. Joel is like my husband. My husband is Joel. He's like, you don't have to keep explaining to people who. So, and I'm like, yes, you do. So Joel is kind of like, he's over it. Like, he's over it at this point. That was his comment earlier. Like, at this point, everybody should know about living with autism. But I'm sorry, Joel, that's your utopia. That's my utopia. That's Gregory utopia. And Bill is here to let you know, because that's why when he learned about this, he's like, please, can we put this on my platform? I'm like, yes, I'm with it. Who we gonna get? And you guys were perfect here to let people know. Like, you and Gregory within yourselves are different in how you feel about this. But you and my husband will get along well, Joel, because he's like, excuse my language, F these people, they better get on board or they gonna get these about his son, right? So, but I'm more like, we gotta just teach people, baby. That's the educator mother in me. Right?
Beautifully said. What's the biggest misconception, Greg? Agree?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Go on, Greg. Go on.
Where can I start? The
Start with
biggest.
the what most obvious one, the
I
one I'm
was.
thinking of.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. Seriously.
Okay, can you guys tell me?
Because okay, the reason why, because this is the magic of the corresponding of this of the spectrum, that Joel presents one point of view, I present another point of view. The biggest, I will say, misconception is that in the employment world, we're only good to do entry level type of positions. They don't. I will say they do not want to give people who are on the spectrum or who are neurodiverse supervisorial or managerial type of capabilities. All I will say, all of the Fortune 500 companies have some type of DI type of programs, which includes engaging with the autism spectrum or the neurodiverse community. But those type of positions are very entry level, such as in the retail space or in the call center space. But in terms of, basically, I will say,
Leadership.
In terms of leadership, there is no type of leadership programs or anything of that nature, especially in Fortune 500 companies. And that's why I am virtually shocked and amazed that, I will say, Bill Gates, who is a person who is diagnosed as a person who's on the spectrum, needs to get on his bike and create leadership type of positions in his corresponding business per se.
Now, Gregory, let me cut you off a little bit right there, because I'm agreeing with you on that, because let's make that make sense. Who's better to know this information but you guys? If you're going to be having programs based on you, like who's better to?
And also, Gregory, Bill has stepped down from Microsoft last year from the CEO.
True enough.
Board, so he's not in charge anymore.
But but he still has a platform and a voice that can be heard worldwide because
Correctamundo.
You know what I mean? So I do understand what Gregory is saying. Like, come on, like who's better to have those roles in DEI about living on the spectrum of autism than someone who knows? Duh.
Gregory, it's not just the workplace, which is the most obvious one you picked for that. It's also, you can take this to other places as well. You can take this to school. You can take this to as far as the governments. I mean, they don't want anyone who may be more intelligent than they are, which is not very difficult to try.
I mean, I'm with you when you're right.
He's been pretty right the entire time.
Okay, let's keep it real. I mean, check me. What are everybody saying now these days? Clock it.
I think that society and the civil servants are terrified that someone may know something that they don't want anyone else to know, because then it would ruin their entire story.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
So, did you say what your biggest misconception was, Joel, or did you kind of scoot around that?
My biggest misconception was when people say what an autistic person looks like. I say, well, what console do you play? Let's play this thing. Let's make this interesting. I see. You play. So you tell me, what does that look like? Okay. What do you see on the screen? A picture. Okay. I play PlayStation. What do I see on the screen? A picture. Who cares what the end result is? They do the same thing. They are programmed differently.
Okay. Perfect.
So wait.
Greg, Phoebe, and Joel, I don't know what your time constraints are, but we do have several questions. Do you guys want to answer those?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Go ahead.
Yes, please. For example, Bill, put up the comment put up the latest comment on Charles. Put that up there. That is basically prime example of what I just said 2 or 3 minutes ago. That is basically a social economic bluster.
That's discrimination.
Yeah.
Here. This
Yeah.
is discrimination.
Yeah.
It happens over here as well.
Yeah. That is a social economic in regards, for example, I will say it all depends on which level of government, that they do not want disabled people to handle large sums of quota money because they do not trust how they're going to spend that large type of money.
It's not their business if you earn your money.
Correct window.
Like, come on.
And that's why that's why I will say that thank goodness that we have a United Nations Charter Declaration on Disabled People from the United Nations, and a majority of nations have signed on it. But the thing is, they need to show the action in regards of their nation signing on that declaration charter, in terms of their social economic policy within their corresponding nations of government per se. So yeah.
Bill, you said you had some questions that you wanted us to ask.
No, answer.
Answer.
So that was one, and so that was one, and Gregory just answered it. Okay. Let's just go through them real quick, because we were so concentrating on the conversation that we haven't really talked to our listeners out there, and it's time to go ahead and do that. Is that for you, Phoebe? Are you a
he asked, what advice do you have for strengthening our faith? What do you mean by strengthening our faith in equality, strengthening our faith in humanity?
No, that's gone out the window.
I mean, that's we can be all night on that, but Bill made a point.
Yeah, we that's a whole nother.
You're right. That's a whole nother crack up. I mean, what do you mean? Building our faith in us is saying, like, what we're doing today on this platform on UBU is to spread awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he needs to put in the sports terms. He needs to put a little bit more meat on that question bone per se. So, yeah.
I have a question for you, Gregory.
Sure.
Which is not about this. So, what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
Good question. I'll probably be staying home because I do not like league championship games, because it is like basically a long drawn out type of process, because I basically will see all major sports channels basically dissect the game probably 30 to 40, maybe 50 times, and basically have at least like and have like 4, 5, 6 hour pregame show, and then they have a pregame for the pregame show, and then we have a pregame for the pregame show.
No,
and basically we're basically long dragging everything out and stuff. So I'm going to be staying in the home, probably minimizing the amount of coverage in terms of pregame coverage. Probably try to do some stuff, personal stuff, and then when it's like 2 or 3 hours prior to game time, I probably will kick back and watch the game. Go Seahawks.
All right.
Okay. David Cause, who wants to take this question or statement?
I'll take it. Lift all up. With every single thing you bring, we all bring so much. Labels are unnecessary. Round of applause for that. Unnecessary, because it's just another way to separate us as humanity, or make one person or people feel superior than the other. So no, we're all on equal ground here.
Phoebe, Gregory, or Joel?
Leave me out of that one. I'm not in the US.
Yeah, that's I will say that is basically what Peter is basically, I will say, or a researcher, or crack researcher for today, because he's basically putting out legal basics of opinion. I'm not. That is I will say above my pay grade, because I'm Canadian, so I do not know the intricacies of American labor law per se. So yeah.
IMHLDEI often focuses on race and gender, which are serious issues, but
That's
ignore
in my
newer.
humble Bill. That's in my humble opinion.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I take this very seriously, DEI, because it is not supposed to be just for
diluted a bit, I think, hasn't it?
It's not supposed to be just
It's
for.
Been diluted. It's been diluted.
It's not. It's supposed to be for any group of people that are not
meant to be. It's meant to be for neurodiversity, disabled people, everyone.
Everybody that's being treated unfair through the forces that be.
So as a woman and a Black woman, so you're saying that DEI is supposed to include everything.
Everybody,
single thing.
every group of people that are being oppressed.
But it's also been
by society.
It's been a bit diluted now. It's been very much.
There's no way. Like I'm, and you guys taught me something today, Gregory and Joel. I did not know that they were paying you guys significantly lower, because that really just actually, I was pissed off just learning that, because I'm like, and so in my head I was thinking that's why I've been creating businesses so that my son can run, because I automatically felt like, not even on the money side, I was just feeling like they wouldn't treat him fairly. Period. I felt that part that you already talked about too. Like they'll mistreat him, thinking that he don't understand or know of this or that because of certain social cues. But don't play with my son, please, and thank you. And I and don't play with you guys either. I wish I can give you a big hug in real life.
Oh,
that this is true, because I have basically had hours cut, sent home early in my prior retail establishments and stuff, and on being on in a call center per se, and that is basically, I will say, uberly real and stuff, and that's one of the quote misconceptions that I will say in regards to Charles's post, that they often focus on race and gender, but they ignore neurodiverse and disability, and that's a very interesting comment to make, and it's an uber factual type of comment to get into, because it is I will say, the neurodiverse space and the disability space often gets uberly ignored when it comes to DEI stuff. Mainly, I will say, I'll give you a prime example in the recruiting space, because a neurodiverse resume is a very, very unique resume. It's a very unique type of resume. It is basically, I will say, at best 70-80% of skill, but 30% work experience. But the thing is that the ATS systems, or the automated tracking systems, are not built for people who are neurodiverse, and that's one of the reasons why. In terms, I saw a study from LinkedIn newsroom research labs, that 66% of recruiters are having a hard time finding talent. I wonder why. It's probably.
I love that you put those numbers up there.
It's probably the reason. It's probably how recruiters are recruiting a talent that they're basically not evolving, or not evolving and stuff. And in the words of Triple H, if you're not evolving, you will perish per se, and it's same thing could go in terms of how people are being in terms of the recruiting space. I was saying the best way to get to know me and get to know me is I submit my resume to you by way of email, and we're having a phone call on the phone, or you bringing me into your office, and we could have a casual conversation to get to know each other in a face-to-face type of situation and stuff. So yeah.
You know what else? I was just sitting.
I'm going to step back for a second.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay. Because I know our time. I was sitting up here thinking, like, have you ever thought, like, how are they hiring these people? And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about you just said there's a 66% or 60% plus, because I didn't get the exact number rate of them saying they're having a hard time finding great talent. But here's talent here. And sometimes in leadership, I'll see some stuff and I'll say, how did this person get hired and not this person? Like the person that actually got the skills that I'm seeing. For example, we just talked about that. If you're having a program under DEI, which they're trying to take away, but anything about dealing with a department or a demographic of people that live on the spectrum of autism, why wouldn't you hire the expert? Joel or Gregory? Make it make sense for me. That's just all I'm saying. Like, what do I look like if I'm not the quarterback? Why am I throwing the ball?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And I'm thinking, and with the onstruck of HR not the onstruck of AI, artificial intelligence in HR, it's going to be much more harder not on HR recruiter end, but now on job seeker or talent or the person or talent end, because now we have AI here, and it is basically becoming a buffer, and we all know that some AI connotation could be positive or it could be negative to people who are on the autism spectrum and or on neurodiverse. The jury is still out on that, but the thing is, we have in the chamber not one, not two, but three HR related lawsuits that's in regards to the intersectionality of AI in regards to in terms of recruiting. One of them involved a person who had a disability with the Workday versus Mobley suit per se. So yeah.
But Workday actually not only did that, but for people over 40, they weren't submitting their resumes.
Correct. And then here's the thing that baffles me, right? In filling out applications and looking, I'm still noticing, what's your race? Do you have a disability? Were you in the army or were you a vet? It's like, why is that important?
Why would anyone check that anymore?
Why is this important? This is not important if I'm going to come into a job and do what your mission and your vision is, and I have the skill and the qualifications to do it. What does any of those things matter? That's why the algorithm with the AI, Gregory, is going to be messed up, because they're even asking questions that has nothing to do with the job. Nothing.
Peter, you're going to come up?
Someone had a quote before Peter, really quick, that I thought was, who is qualified? That one. I wanted to see that one. That was Charles. Thank you, Charles. Who is qualified?
Charles is on fire today.
Yes, you are, Charles. Who is qualified? Maybe the problem is we see normal white men as qualified, but not too many see everyone else is questionable. Like, why is everybody else questionable? Like, nobody else. I'm Joel. I'm fed up with it, right? I'm fed up with it, and you got to know, I'm seeing this from a lot of angles. Female, African American, mother of a son living with autism. So I'm seeing a lot of different angles. Educator, I'm seeing a lot of. And I'll be 48, by the way. I'm proud to say it. I'm seeing that age. I'm seeing from all these different angles on this circle of how you could just cross me out the box, right? So that's why I advocate for you guys, Joel,
But
Gregory,
advocating
my son Nasir, which I love. So,
but navigating for one is not is what
advocating.
Advocating for one is advocating for us all, because we are all marginalized in some way, in some sector. So I stand up for everybody.
Me too.
I stand up for everybody. You don't have to be a woman to understand that women's rights matter. You don't have to be gay to understand that gay rights matter. You don't have to have a disability to realize that disability rights matter. You just need to care. You need to be a human. And with that said, if you're only worried about when they come knocking at your door, then you're in trouble, because you're watching everybody else go down. And when they come to get you, there'll be nobody to save you.
Now
Because,
I'm gonna say, oh, I'm sorry. I
go ahead.
just because
Go
I guess
ahead.
I'm real passionate about this. Today, this is me connecting with Joel again. The world, everybody has someone that they love with autism. So right there, I'm just saying, if you're not, take yourself out of the box. Maybe that's why they try to put
Yes.
us in the box, because they're in the box, right? Maybe that's why they put us in the box. They're in boxes. Take yourself out a box so that you don't keep putting others in it.
There you go. And I think that's a great closing statement.
Thank you, guys.
Joel, do you have a closing statement you want to make?
I think the only thing that they want to do by putting all of us in a box is basically conformity in robots. So if you want that, you're dealing with the wrong species.
There you go. Mic drop. Dr. Liverpool.
I had 2 words in my first post of 2026 in terms of where HR needs to go and where we need to take it. And the 2 words is, 1 is change and 2 is revolution. The reason why we need change is HR is basically operating on a Apple iOS system that is basically a 16 or a 17, and we need to be operating on an iOS 26. And revolution is that some of the stuff that is being passed down from generation to generation to generation doesn't make the sniff test. In regards to, and that's one of the reasons why I have that hashtag, because HR needs to get back to the roots in regards to being human focused. It is a customer. Yeah, Charles hit it on the head. We love one another, as well as have to be a human focused type of operation, because HR is a customer service related job / duty / art, and we have lost some of that art big time, and we could have adjusted our HR type of teaching, doing, instruction, leadership, all that nice jazzy type of stuff when the world shut down for COVID-19, for the pandemic. That was our opportunity to change, and we did not learn a single thing in that time. And we dropped the ball big time on that. And that's why we have the 3 lawsuits involving AI and the whole mess with who organization in the States, and I do not have to go into detail about it. But the thing is, that's how we are in this type of situation at this juncture with the intersectionality of HR and the autism spectrum mixed in with all other neurodiversity. So yeah.
That was a fantastic statement. I want to say this. I can't hear you, Phoebe. I don't know if you're trying to talk.
I'm sorry. Gregory said, what's the key word was human resources, HR. Get back to that human piece. That's what I wanted to piggyback on with Gregory. That was a great statement.
I think everyone today has dropped tons of knowledge. UBU Live is a platform that I created so that we can all have a conversation. And one of the things I want people to understand is that sometimes when you're leading something, you know when to step in and when to step back. And what you witnessed today was that I came in as the learner. I'm the host, but I'm the learner in this in this situation. So I step back to have the experts, the people that are living with it, the people that are the caregivers, have their discussion. And that did not make me feel as if I was any more of a host, to have them lead the conversation. And that's what, as a community, every leader should think about. Whether you're leading an organization, you're hosting a podcast, sometimes the best thing that you can do is step back and listen. I was extremely nervous about having the conversation because I'm not an expert. And I recognized that my need to feel like I was an expert versus my need to want to be an advocate, the advocacy took over. The ego stepped aside and the conversation flowed. So I hope that everyone got something out of this. I know that I did. And I also want to say one more thing about LinkedIn. LinkedIn for me is a community, and it's a community of people that support each other. I said this, I think, was it Saturday, Greg? That I was nervous to reach out to Joel because we've been in certain forums before, but we've never spoken. And so when I reached out to him and he said yes, I was like, this is the strength of a community. This is the strength of a network. And when Gregory found out about it, he said, I want to be a part of this. That's the strength of a community. That's the strength of a network. And with that, I'm going to say what I've been feeling since the beginning of 2026. I'm taking it 1 minute at a time because one day is too long for me. I am hugging the people that I love a little harder. I am thanking the people that are checking me out at the grocery store with the smile and that of appreciation. I'm holding doors open for people, not because of anything else except for we need to go back to being humans. We need to get off of our phones. We need to look up, look people straight in the eye and say, thank you. You are loved. You are seen and you are felt. So with that said, I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to close out. If you want to stay, you certainly can. My outro is just as long as my intro. And it is Brixley, my other artist, going out. And I love it because she has a jazz album that I created. This is the first single from it. And it starts off, Say It Clean, and then it ends up in a different way. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Gregory, thank you so much for showing up.
Happy Black History Month to all people who celebrate.
I celebrate it every day.
Me too. Thank you.
And I intended on having a post I was going to do in the middle of it, but about Black history. But this conversation flowed so seamlessly, I didn't want to interrupt it. So, if you guys need to leave, I understand that. Phoebe, you have to stay. I'm telling you that.
See, that's bossing me around.
Yeah, but I know Joel's in London, and he has it's probably your bedtime. Thank you guys, and here we go. Everyone, check out Brixley. Here she is.
You want my love, come correct. Not loud, not extra, disrespect. I like charm, I like truth, I like time and more than food. Do not lean in, then lean away. I am not here for half a step. If you are real, I will be real. If you are smooth, I will let you feel. Say it clean, say it sweet, say it with your energy. Snap talk, no pause, no pause. If you want me, show me what you got. I got my peace, I got my plan. I am not waiting on a man, but if you fit the flow, I might make room just so you know. Keep it steady, ooh, keep it kind. If you can hold the rhythm, I can give you time. Say it clean, say it sweet, say it with your energy. No pause, no pause. If you want me, show me what you got. Say it sweet, say it sweet, say it. Yeah, come here. You walk in and the whole room shakes like the bass just learned a brand new trick. You do not even say a word, but your timing got me all disturbed. I keep it classy, I keep it cool. Then you smile and I forget the rules. If you came to play it safe, baby, you are in the wrong place. Come close, not slow, right now, let it show. All 30 to me tonight. Keep it smooth, keep it right. Say it low, say it low, say it sweet, say it sweet. Make the rhythm sound like me. All 30 to me tonight. Hands on time, mood on side. Do not rush, do not fight. Just talk dirty to me tonight. Say it in the room. Tonight. Tell me how you move. I like a man with discipline, but I like a look of trouble on your grin. Give me confidence, not noise. Give me grown up, not a little boy. I do not need a perfect line. I need to focus on my mind. If you can match my energy,